The mistake I see many business owners and entrepreneurs make is they take loans in their own name. So when you take a loan in your own name, you are personally liable. And what personally liable means is anything you own, any of your properties and all that, it can be on the line when it comes to the creditor trying to recover the loan that you owe them, right? So when you take a loan in your name, it makes you vulnerable because the creditor can come after you. But if you take the loan in the name of the company, so there's that thing called limited liability. So if you have like a company, say my company is a limited liability. What limited liability means is that if I own a limited liability company and that limited liability company owes somebody, that person, the creditor, can only take out or redeem what they are being owned from the company, but they will not touch me, the owner of the company. Why? Because my liability as the owner of the business is limited. The company is a limited liability. You will only touch the company, but you will not touch me. It's known as a corporate veil. So there's a veil between the company and you. In the eyes of the law, your company is a separate, independent and separate human being. The law treats your company as a person, and your company is a different person to you. So as the owner of a business, you're a person, but your company, that's XYZ Limited, ABC Limited, is another person. So in the eyes of the law, when your company owes money, the law sees it as your company is a person that owes money, not you, the owner of the company. So even if the company goes down, nothing happens to you, even though there are exceptions. There are times when the corporate veil can be broken and they will come for you, but it's not as common. The structure of company formation is that if your company is a limited liability, if your company takes a loan, your company is separate and different. Anything that happens is between the creditor and your company. It doesn't affect you. So what that does is it creates a loophole in the law where your company may be owing money. You've explored all these other options to pay, and there's nothing to pay. You run to the courts and you declare bankruptcy. You say, my creditors are after me. I don't have enough assets to meet my obligations. I want to declare bankruptcy. What that then means is that the state takes over. By the state, I mean through the courts, the government takes over. And they would appoint a liquidator, somebody that would dissolve the business, look at what the business owns and share it according to the people who are being owed by the company. So people who do this out of mischief, most times when the company is being liquidated, there's nothing remaining. They've sold off the assets. There's no money in the bank. So the company is just a skeleton. It's a shadow. There's really nothing to give off. But that is not what I'm encouraging. I'm just letting you know how vast the options are. So for you to use this last option of bankruptcy, a couple of things have to be clear. If you are taking a loan, now that you understand the concept and the principle of limited liability, if you are going to take a loan, you take a loan in the name of your business, not in your personal capacity. Even though some lenders might check, even though some lenders see through the hanky-panky. So they will want you to guarantee. You see where the concept of guarantor comes now. They will want you to guarantee the loan. What guarantee means is that if your company cannot pay, we will come for the guarantor. So that creates an opening for them to come after you because they know that because of the principle of limited liability, they cannot ordinarily come for you. But if you guarantee the loan, the moment the person or the company you guarantee cannot pay, they then have the right to come after you, the guarantor. So these are the things you need to understand. If you're taking a loan, you take the loan in the name of your company, not in your own name. Because if you take it in your own name, you become personally and individually liable for that loan. So the bankruptcy means that if you have explored all your options to pay off a debt and you are not able to, what actually bothers me about this point is that many people don't know that there's a bankruptcy option. Because if people know, all these guys who kill themselves, who commit suicide because they're owing money, if they knew that there was a bankruptcy option, they won't do it. Instead of killing yourself, you go to the courts and declare bankruptcy, and you have your life. It's so that nobody can touch you. And interestingly, under the bankruptcy laws or statutes, right, once you are under the protection of the state, in a state of bankruptcy, there are things they cannot touch. For example, your personal house. They can't touch your house. They can't touch anything you need to function as a human being. Anything you need to pay your children's school fees or things like that. So bankruptcy puts you under state protection and doesn't allow your creditors more or less ruin your life. So you can imagine, if people know that this kind of option exists, why would you go and commit suicide or kill yourself? It doesn't make any sense. Instead, you run to the courts, declare bankruptcy. You're under the protection of the state. There's no need to kill yourself, or right. I'm glad I've taken this time to exhaustively explain this whole thing about when you owe money and your debtors are coming after you and things like that. It's not only small businesses that owe money, even rich and powerful people owe money. In Nigeria, one of Nigeria's richest people, there was a time he was owing a lot of money left, right, and center, right? But today, that is history. He's overcome it, and his net worth has grown. So, like I just said, you have options. You have option that you're owing many people doesn't mean that the way out of it is for you to go take your life.